You don't need perfect conditions to make an impact or build success. You need resilience or resilient people. I share with you a story of how resilience shaped my character, of how resilience built my confidence, of how resilience transformed inner growth into physical impact, practicing as a teacher. This is not a story devoid of hardship or difficulties. Actually, it's a story made possible because of hardship, difficult situations, unfriendly terrains, and in growing up in a less developed country. All of this and many more would have made it impossible. Hi, my name is Esther Ajuma Okwara. I'll take you back to where it all started. It was in Lagos, Nigeria, many years ago. From a very young age, I knew I wanted to be a teacher. I stood on a daily basis looking at young adults folding their learning aids nicely kept in their backpacks. I kept wondering where they were going. And I asked my mom one day, she said, "They are teachers in the making." I told her they looked beautiful. I loved what they wore, and I liked how they comported themselves. And I told her I wanted to become a teacher as well. But prior to that time, there was something in the dark nobody knew. Or at least everyone knew except me. I had learning difficulties. And how was I going to be a teacher when I couldn't even access learning on my own? But then, that was the shift that changed the journey of my life. I enrolled and started my elementary education. I progressed to middle school, got to high school, and it was time to graduate and pursue a career path. Like I said, I wanted to become a teacher. But at this point, back then, not much was known about inclusive learning. So I was exposed to a one-size-fits-all approach to learning. I struggled so hard. I had the tag lazy and unwilling screaming at me each time I went to school. But then I remembered the shift that changed the path I had chosen. I would look in the mirror on a daily basis and remind myself of my dreams of becoming a teacher. I kept telling myself I was becoming a teacher someday, regardless of the difficulties. You could imagine somebody who's unable to read in middle school, graduating and becoming a teacher. But I was determined and resilient about becoming one. In my quest to find out what was wrong with me, and while I was experiencing learning difficulties, I came across two words which became my tool for survival. It was equity and equality. At that point, I realized I had equal opportunities as every other child in my class, but I did not have equity. Equality meant I had access to the same resources, I had access to the same number of hours, I had access to every other material that was supposed to push me through that path. But equity meant whoever was instructing me at that time understood my struggles and had scaffolded the learning in a path that will help me learn with ease and become a better learner. Having found this discovery, or having made this discovery, I decided that I was going to be the face of inclusive learning. So I armed myself with 4 tools. I armed myself with the tool of inclusion. I armed myself with scaffolds. I armed myself with differentiated instruction. And then my favorite, I armed myself with using an adaptive approach in teaching and learning. I stand before you today proudly to announce that my learning difficulty did not stop me from becoming a teacher. I did not just end up becoming a teacher. I was intentional, I was resilient, and now I pride myself in being the face of inclusive practices. I cater to people or learners who struggle. Rather than giving them equal opportunities, I make room for equity. I'll leave you with this to ponder on. Do not wait for better systems to become better people. I urge you to become resilient people, resilient people, resilient people who build better systems. Thank you.